The 0.1% Solution by Scott Mason. I always crack up when the media and the usual political types, the ones who define their lives based on how many Republicans or Democrats are in office, like the meathead you knew in high school who tied his entire self-worth into how many chicks he banged, try to sell us on how an election is so unbelievably important. This is the most important election of our lifetime, they exclaim, until the next election comes, and then that one is even more important and even more transcendent. The truth is, 99.9% of the time, there's no real choice. It's like choosing between listening to Yoko Ono perform a concert or sitting through a Dane Cook stand-up routine. Either way, you're going to leave the theater that night wishing that you'd brought industrial-strength cotton balls with you to stuff in your ears. To that end, Republican Scott Brown is running neck and neck with Democrat Martha Coakley for the late Ted Kennedy's recently vacated Senate seat in Massachusetts. Yes, you heard that right. A Republican actually has a chance to win an election in Massachusetts, a feat that would be nearly as amazing as the Cubs winning a World Series or a soccer game being halfway entertaining. So how on earth is this even possible? As Michael C. Moynihan of Reason magazine points out, two things are in play: a monstrous health care bill and a candidate almost Dukakis-like in her on-the-trail incompetence. Seriously, Coakley is running such a bad campaign that you almost wonder if a DNC official made a bet with somebody that they could get anybody elected in Massachusetts as long as they had a D next to their name. Just within the last few weeks, Coakley has insulted Fenway Park and practicing Catholics, had one of her entourage throw a reporter to the ground, and showed how incredibly out of touch she was by saying that Red Sox legend Curt Schilling is a Yankees fan. Look, I'm not saying she has to know everything about Boston sports, but it would be nice if she knew that the guy who pitched with a bloody sock to help the Red Sox win their first World Series in the last billion years is not a Yankees fan. And then there's Coakley's past as a prosecutor, where, among other things, she was responsible for falsely convicting several former daycare workers of sexual abuse. And then, after evidence came to light that exonerated them, she personally lobbied to refuse their release. She's like the corrupt, overzealous prosecutor from a bad TV movie come to life. Coakley is clearly terrible, but what about her opponent, Scott Brown? Well, he's no prize either, for reasons that Brad Osoba laid out right here on this very blog a few days ago. Brad's conclusion was that there's really no substantial difference between Coakley and Brown, no matter how bad Coakley is, and a victory for Brown is not a victory for liberty. Brad's right, but we should still hope that Brown defeats Coakley. Why? One reason and one reason only: health care reform. As I alluded to previously, President Obama's current health care reform bill is very unpopular and horrifically bad. By forcing people to buy expensive insurance they may not want at even higher prices than people are complaining about now, it's likely to do to the American healthcare system, which has plenty of flaws to begin with, what watching former WWE star Chyna's sex tape would do to any male sex drive: make it so weak that it may never fully recover. If Coakley wins, the Democrats have 60 votes in the Senate and can get the bill through. If Brown wins, the Republicans have 41 votes and can block the bill with a filibuster. With the Democrats being able to control both the presidency and both houses of Congress for at least the next 10 months, it's that rare combination of timing and mathematics that makes it important for Brown to win. Put simply, a Brown victory is the only way to stop this health care bill. Look, I'm no fan of the Republicans, but they're right to oppose this bill, and every poll under the sun seems to indicate that a clear majority agrees. And make no mistake about it, if this bill passes, it could take decades to undo. So Brad's right. There may only be a dime's worth of difference between Coakley and Brown and between Republicans and Democrats in general. But with this Massachusetts Senate race, we may be witnessing one of those 0.1% of cases where that dime's worth of difference is worth just a little bit more than your usual dime.